The news results are in. Though doctors deemed him fit for duty during a physical last Sunday, President Obama's cholesterol was up to a borderline 209 from a more desirable 173 during a physical 2 years earlier. The spike in his cholesterol level was apparently caused by overindulgence in sweets and cheeseburgers. Surveys, polls, and publications continually point to the same facts. America has an obesity crisis, and much of it is due to fast foods. According to the book, Fast Food Nation, the U.S. spends more on fast foods than it does on higher education or new cars. In a 2006 Pew Research poll asking Americans why the nation consumed so much junk food, convenience was the most popular answer. The same poll revealed that more children can identify Ronald McDonald than Santa Claus. The 2004 documentary, Super Size Me, revealed these facts about McDonald's, the nation's largest fast food industry. In 1972, we spent $3 billion a year on fast food. But today we spend more than $110 billion. McDonald's feeds more than 46 million people a day, which is more than the entire population of Spain. French fries are the most eaten vegetable in America, and you would have to walk 7 hours straight to burn off a supersized Coke, fry, and Big Mac. My personal weakness is Whataburger. I know the salt-laden French fries wreak havoc on my blood pressure. There is no question in my mind whether or not the greasy hamburger patty dripping with melted cheese will raise my cholesterol level. And there's no guessing whether or not I need the 66 grams of carbohydrates from the fountain drink that accompanies the meal. Although Mark and I usually eat pretty healthy, we both like to treat ourselves by spending money on food that is not good for us, like Whataburger Combo Meal number 1. We join the rest of the American population who consumes foods that are rich in harmful ingredients like fat, sugar, salt, and preservatives that can result in serious medical complications such as heart disease, obesity, hypertension, diabetes, and even cancer. And what's the solution? Simply this: change our eating habits. We are told that we should consume at least 8 big glasses of water every day to ensure effective removal of any toxins present in the tissues and blood vessels. Our snacks should include nuts and fruits instead of ding-dongs and potato chips. And every meal should be rich with fruits, vegetables, and starch foods such as whole grain bread and pasta and rice. We need to trade in the empty calories of fast food for the healthy calories of whole food. And that is the message from this morning's 55th chapter of Isaiah. But instead of the foods we find in the grocery store, the prophet was talking about spiritual food. Speaking on behalf of God, he said, "Why do you spend your money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which does not satisfy? Listen carefully to me and eat what is good, and delight yourselves in rich food. Incline your ear and come to me. Listen so that you may live." It was a welcome message to the Israelite audience, a people who are living in exile in the land of Babylon. For a people who had drunk deeply from the waters of deportation, exile, and estrangement, this invitation to return to the waters of Zion signaled a new day. And it's a welcome message for you and me too. because you and I have been fed a spiritual message for way too long that's not good for us. A message that is as empty of nourishment as is a Big Mac or Domino's pizza. A message that wreaks havoc upon our spiritual health and can even kill our souls if we were to continue to take it in. It's a message that is popular among much of the religious mainstream churches. A message that says the LGBT community is not welcome at God's banquet table of love. This message will wreak havoc on our spiritual health just as fast foods wreak havoc on our physical health. And God invites us in this morning's text to change our eating habits. Like the Israelites, we have also consumed spiritual food that was not good for our souls. And we have also drunk deeply of the waters of deportation, exile, and estrangement from our loved ones and from our own church families. And God tells us that we need to put away that sort of spiritual diet, an empty diet that can only lead to a diseased soul. God tells us to put it away and choose instead a diet that brings everlasting life, a banquet that is rich and lasting and piled high with the truth that we are created in God's image and that indeed that image is good. If you have been consuming the lies that you are anything but precious in the eyes of God, you need to change your diet, because God offers us a new menu, one that satisfies and leaves us filled with peace and joy instead of the guilt and shame we may have been accustomed to.